Hi everyone, yasas que to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. If you are looking for a delicious dessert to serve for your upcoming brunch, Mother's Day is on the way here. It's literally this weekend. This would be delicious for anything, for a dinner party, a brunch, a get together, some tea time. It's so good. I'm making Galaktoboureko croissant bake. You've never heard of it because I think I'm the first person that ever made it. And the idea came to me from my friend over on Instagram, Vaya. She sent me this viral croissant recipe and she said, how about Galaktoboureko? And the wheel started turning. You guys just put it out there and I will come up with a recipe. And this is so delicious. I topped them with some blueberries. The croissants are filled with Galaktoboureko, which is the Greek custard pie cream. And it's just incredible and so easy to make. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin by making the Galaktoboureko custard. Just pour 4 cups of whole milk into a saucepan. And the custard is going to have 3/4 of a cup of sugar. We're just going to pour most of it into the milk and a little pinch of salt. And the sugar is going to keep the milk from sticking to the bottom of the saucepan. Put it on the stovetop over medium heat and let it warm until it's scalding hot. In the meantime, we're going to combine 2 whole eggs, 2 egg yolks, the remaining sugar, half a cup of semolina flour. You want to make sure you're using finely ground semolina flour, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and whisk that all together until it's nice and smooth. Once the milk is scalding hot, carefully pour it into the egg mixture and whisk it so that way the egg's temperature goes up. This is called tempering the eggs. Whisk it all up and then we'll just pour it back into the saucepan and add the zest of a lemon. You could use the zest of an orange if you like, or you could leave the citrus out completely. Return this back to the heat and cook it over medium heat, whisking it constantly. Don't leave from the stovetop at this point, otherwise it will burn. As soon as it starts to bubble, you can turn the heat off because you'll see that it'll get nice and thick really quickly. Like I said, turn the heat off, and at this point, we're just going to stir in 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and the custard is ready. It should be at this thickness. It thickens even more as it sits. Just set it aside and make the syrup. The syrup is so simple to make. In a small saucepan, add 1.5 cups of sugar, a cup of water, the juice of the orange that we zested, or the lemon, whatever you're using, and a cinnamon stick. This is a really large cinnamon stick, so I'm going to cut it in half and add it to the syrup. Bring this to a boil, mix it well until the sugar melts, and then we're going to turn the heat off and stir in 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract and set that aside to cool completely. Let's assemble the tray now. So I have a 9 by 13 inch baking tray. I'll just spray it with some baking spray. This is just some olive oil. I'm just going to spray into this pan to keep everything from sticking. I have 6 store-bought croissants here. If they're old, they're even better because you'll see later on they'll just absorb the syrup even better later on when we pour it on top. Slice those in half lengthwise. Then we're going to fill them generously with that Greek custard, Galaktoboureko filling. Arrange them in your baking pan. So 6 large croissants fit in this baking pan. If you're using smaller croissants, you can fit much more in. You could really squeeze them together. That's fine. And then I'm just going to top everything with a heaping cupful of frozen blueberries. You can use any berries that you like. If you're making this in the fall around the holiday time, you could use dried cranberries or your favorite dried fruit, and you can also leave these out. But I love the blueberries because they do release some juices and they add a little bit of freshness too. This is going to go in a preheated oven and it's going to bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. As soon as it comes out of the oven, go ahead and pour all of that syrup on top. And then I like to also sprinkle some ground pistachios for a little pop of color and some more flavor. And this is going to sit for about an hour until the croissants absorb that syrup, and then it'll be ready to serve. Okay, so once these come out of the oven, your house is just going to smell, it's going to make you start drooling. It smells so good. It just also looks so beautiful. I love how the blueberries kind of release some juices and add a little bit of color to the croissants. The croissants are perfectly crisp on top. Once they come out of the oven and you add the syrup, they are going to get kind of soggy. So if you like that bread pudding type texture, then it's perfect. But if you want to get them a little bit crispy again, they're going to have to sit until that syrup absorbs anyway, and it takes about between 30 minutes to an hour. But if you want to serve them and let it still be a little bit crispy, and I love to serve this warm, just pop them in the oven for about 5 minutes before you serve them. 5-10 minutes, keep an eye on them, and they're just going to be so good. I mean, if you want to, they are perfect as is with the pistachios on top, but you can certainly go over the top and add a little bit of ice cream on top, some whipped cream. Serve these with some fresh berries. Oh my God, I'm drooling. I cannot wait to to do the taste test. Oh my goodness. It tastes like Galaktoboureko, but dare I even say that it's a little bit better. I love croissants. They're buttery. I did pop them in the oven a little bit longer so the tops did get crispy again. The inside is crispy and the bottom is creamy because of that syrup on there. They're just perfect. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. Let me know how you're serving them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.